Hey everyone, I hope y'all are staying safe and remembering to use your herbs and um, keep your immune system strong. I'm going to do a video, once I finish my Marvin video, I'm going to do a video on herbs that you can use to keep your system clean and keep your immune system strong and kill off viruses. But for right now, I've already given you some in the video on Marvin, the preview on Marvin. I gave you some. But if you're not used to herbs, simple ginger tea. Um, Go and get you some ginger, cut it up, boil out the essence of the ginger, and drink it just like it is, or put some honey in it. No sugar, just honey, or just as it is. And drink that as many times as you can. You can stick a clove of garlic in there as well. That also helps. If you're not an herbalist or if you don't know anything about herbs, like I said, you can still go to Whole Foods or any of the local areas in your community that sells herbs and herbal supplements. Okay, so I just wanted to address the so-called brothers who are attacking me because of my video on Minister Farrakhan and uh, uh, the truck driver, Allah in person. I forgot his name. Solomon? Whatever his name is. And then just, not believe that these men are fallible. Okay. Yes, they are lying. No, polygamy is not allowed in the nation of Islam. It wasn't under Elijah Muhammad. And today, if they're saying that polygamy is allowed, then you know that you're no longer in the nation of Islam. Because polygamy is an Orthodox Islam tradition, not a Nation of Islam tradition. Elijah Muhammad made it perfectly clear that there's a difference between Orthodox Islam and Nation of Islam. Okay, so we're about to hear from the wife of Muhammad Ali. You know, the great Muhammad Ali that, he took on, and then when he was Cassius Clay, he wasn't as known as when he was Muhammad Ali. Took on that name, and then, he was in the Nation of Islam. Okay? So, and then he eventually moved on to the Orthodox Islam sect. Okay? But this is his first wife, Khalaila Ali. She was Belinda Boyd before she married, and both her and Cassius changed their name. Belinda was born in the Nation of Islam, and she was given in an arranged marriage to Muhammad Ali when she was 17. Belinda ultimately left after multiple infidelities with multiple women, and she also claimed that he was an absentee father to her children. Now, they had 4 children together, and then he had multiple children from the multiple women that he was having affairs with. Okay? And she ultimately divorced him, or they ultimately divorced. And then he went on to marry one of the women that he was cheating on Belinda or Khalaila on. And then subsequently went on to marry other women. Okay? So you're hearing now from Belinda on her experience as a woman in the Nation of Islam. And like I've been saying, polygamy is not allowed. It has never been allowed when Elijah Muhammad was here. And if the men are telling you, I know a few years back, a sister that was in the Nation of Islam told me that Farrakhan was trying to push polygamy on the regular believers, telling sisters that you need to get used to the idea of, sharing your husband with someone else. And then before, there was like a weekend lockdown of all the believers in the temple, where he had to confess that he was, he had all these different women. Okay? I mean, they locked down everybody because it was just like, okay, people were under the impression that it was, one woman, one man. They thought that Elijah Muhammad taught that because they are new people and did not understand that that is not true. Okay? There were new people, or they were so-called, what they called hypocrites and disbelievers who were inside the Nation of Islam that didn't really care about the teachings. They just wanted to do what they wanted to do, and they came back when Farrakhan reestablished the Nation of Islam, since Wallace destroyed it. So all these people who were kicked out and had bad standings when Elijah Muhammad was here came back under Farrakhan, and with Farrakhan they're teaching bullshit. Okay? So be careful when you join these sects. Be careful. Now, some fool is in my comment section talking about, send me the proof, give me the proof. Where did Elijah Muhammad say this? Give me the proof. I told you where to go look. Go bump and hit up your library and find old newspapers of the Muhammad Speaks newspapers. Okay? There's an archive somewhere. If I found it, you can find it, where Farrakhan defended Elijah Muhammad against these charges of polygamy or sleeping with underage girls back then. And 40 years later, two of those same women he defended Elijah Muhammad from, he's now saying that, he had them as women. Yeah. So it's either he was lying then or he's lying now. And I challenge you to go look it up for yourself instead of being up in my comment section talking foolishness. So Elijah Muhammad himself says, if you catch me in one lie, then everything that I have ever taught you is a lie. So if Farrakhan is telling the truth, that means Elijah is a liar, and then everything he's ever taught is a lie. It's as simple as that. But if Farrakhan is lying, then he's a liar. And you can't trust a lie, because you lie once. If it's the same, if it's the same with Elijah Muhammad, he said everything, if you catch me in one lie, then everything I've ever taught you is a lie. Why isn't it the same for Farrakhan, since he's so-called continuing in the messenger's way? That's what he says. He's picking up the mantle of the messenger. So why isn't the same rules applied to him? You catch him in one lie, then everything he's already ever taught you is a damn lie. So right now you're looking at, it's either Elijah lied or Farrakhan lied. If Elijah lied, then a Nation of Islam is a moot point, because he says one lie, it's all a lie. So that makes Farrakhan moot. But you all don't want to look at the difficult facts. You want to come and attack people for telling you the truth. Go do your own research. I told you where to go look. I'm not going to go bring the stuff to you. You go find it for yourself, because you're all a bunch of lazy people that like the filth that you're in and don't want to go look and study and research to find the truth and make sure that you are not feeding bullshit to your children. Okay, so here is this interview was done in 2012 with Lance Shabazz. And I don't know if a lot of people know who Lance Shabazz is, but he was under Minister Farrakhan. And then he left because he saw all the hypocrisy and began to do his own research on the Nation of Islam. He began to look up old believers because he himself grew up in the Nation of Islam. So he knew a lot of the things that Minister Farrakhan was teaching was not true. So he just wanted to document everything to make sure people can see the difference between what Minister Farrakhan and these so-called new ministers are teaching and what Elijah Muhammad taught. Okay? So here is Khalaila Ali. She is Muhammad Ali's first wife. His legal wife, not his little side chicks, his legal wife. And this is what she says her experience was in the Nation of Islam.
Well, when I got married to him, I wasn't unaware of a lot of things. And I don't think I was a fool to marry him. I did not benefit from a lot of things. We struggled. But I was there when he died.
Right.
I was his helpmate.
Right. You know, Bilal, I interviewed Khalaila Ali, the wife of Muhammad Ali, the second one, Belinda, and it's it's a lot of similarities in the stories as far as the women and the things that she put up with, and Khalaila Ali, former wife of Muhammad Ali. Sister Khalaila, we're doing this documentary on Joe Tex, The Real Story, and if you could give us on polygamy and Islam, especially under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Imam W.D. Muhammad. Joe Tex, I understand, had several wives, and could you just elaborate if that was part of the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad or Imam W.D. Muhammad?
Okay, thank you very much for, appreciate you asking me to be a part of this venture here. So thank you very much for inviting me to be with you. And I'll try to explain to you as clear as I can to the knowledge of what I have about the situation. During my situation, it was a lot of, it was nothing in the Nation of Islam was down to the Elijah Muhammad. He never taught us to have more than one wife. He always taught us to always, and when you're living in the laws of the land, you have to live under the laws of the land with the respect, the right and the wrong of the laws of the land with respect. And as long as it does not contradict our religion. Now, as far as having more than one wife, it's against the laws, what you call bigamy. So Elijah Muhammad Honorable Elijah Muhammad used to tell us never let the white man or the government give a reason. You should never give them a reason to indoctrinate you against the laws of the land, because they would use that against you in fighting whatever you're fighting for.
Right.
Not going into the army is a freedom that you can say yes or no. And it does not make you traitor or anything, because you have the freedom to do whatever you want in this country and believe in any religion you want in this country don't have to go to jail for it. So when people came up to ask him about, more than one wife, a lot of the men who were wealthy and everything used that as a ploy and an excuse to justify them having another woman. That was only, and it got around to a lot of the wealthy men, not the poorest men, but the wealthy men that was in the Nation of Islam. They would do this on the sideline. They would never do this out in public.
Right.
They would only do that to justify their means just to have another woman. And then they would preach or con their wives, their real wives, to go along with it. And most of the women did not go along with it. There were some that had no choice. And they were young enough, and they just went along with it. I even went along with it.
Right.
Because I was conned and manipulated, thinking I would be wrong if I didn't.
Right.
I wouldn't be a good woman or a good wife, making my husband happy if I didn't.
So when
I even was threatened that I was going to have my whole family broke up if I didn't.
All right.
And not knowing this firsthand from Elijah Muhammad and Muhammad, I just went along with it until I got a chance to ask them personally.
Right.
And I wasn't even allowed to speak to them on that matter. Okay? So I was conned into it. So I know in my mind, in my own mind, that it was wrong. I just felt it was wrong.
Right.
But when you are under a roof and you have a husband and he's trying to persuade you to do what he wants to do, women can't make a move. They have to do what they say do.
Right.
A lot of them won't go along with it. I was just passive enough to go along with it to show them they wouldn't work. So I went along with it because I knew it wouldn't work. I knew that she wasn't really going to be his wife for real, so it was no threat to me because my name was on the paper.
Okay.
So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but let me ask you this, because I had read in some publications years ago that Muhammad Ali had said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad married him over the phone to some sister. Was it while he was still married to you? Did that never occurred then?
No, it never occurred. That's a lie.
Okay.
That never occurred. Elijah Muhammad would have never done that.
Okay. Very good.
Elijah Muhammad saw me grow up. He would have never had the nerve to go and say that to Elijah Muhammad. That's just a game plan to justify what he's doing to other men, tell other men that. But that did not happen.
All right, so let me ask you this. I know Joe Tex had...
That would have occurred. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad would have came to me first.
Right.
Told me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because the first wife is supposed to know.
Right.
And that is our right. We are supposed to know if that transpires. We are supposed to be the first ones to know. And that's what to do it behind your back.
Right.
Then it's not true then. It's not religion.
All right, what do you remember about Joe Tex?